Today, let's learn about slowly changing dimension 2. Okay. Last time, what we have learned? Ashok?
SCD Type 1.
SCD Type 1. This is SCD Type 2. Okay. So what is Type 1?
If the data is not here, we insert the data. If the data is there in the table, we just update it.
We'll just go ahead and update it. Okay. So now let's consider we are having this one. Okay. This data. So here, what is SCD Type 2? First of all. So SCD Type 2, it is like, again, if you compare it to SCD Type 1, what we are doing in case of match, what we are doing, we are updating the data, correct? We are updating the data, correct? In case of no match, we are inserting the data. Okay. So in case of SCD Type 2, can you expect what we do? So this we call it as an upsert. Okay. This is in case of match, what we are doing, update. This is insert. So we call it as, what is the name of this? Upsert. Okay. Upsert is nothing but you are updating. So that you are telling by using the first two letters, and then SCRT is nothing but insert. Okay. You call this as upsert. This is SCD Type 1. So what is SCD Type 2? Any guesses?
Maybe we can delete the table also.
No. So here no deletions will be there. Okay. Yeah, Samata.
Yeah, reset. I'm saying reset the thing.
Okay. So in case of match, first let's go with in case of no match. So if the data is not there in the target, what we do? Normally we'll insert it. Okay. Insert the data. Okay. In case of match, and there is a change in the data. There is a change in the data. Then what you will do?
Update.
You will update it, but you will update only current flag or end effective date flag. I will tell you what are these columns. Okay? End effective date field. You will update only these two. Okay.
Yes.
And what you will do again in case of no match, and there is no change in there is no change in data. Okay, there is no change in data. Then what you will do is ignore. Okay. In case of in case of match, in case of no match, you will just insert it. Okay. In case of match and there is no change in data, you will ignore it. Even in SCD Type 1, you will ignore it, right? Because if there is no change in the data, then we need not to do anything. Clear here? Clear? So what you will do again, here you are not updating the actual data, right? So in this case, in case of a match and there is a change in the data, what you will do is, again, you will insert it as a new record. Okay. Insert it as a new record. You'll get an understanding of this once I give you one example. Okay. So here what you are doing, insert, update, again insert. Okay. So here you will call this as, okay, you will call this as tracking historical data or low level history. Okay. Row level history you are maintaining, because in case of a change, what you are doing, inserting the data. In case of no match also, you are inserting the data. So in case of any changes, or in case if it is a new record, you are inserting the data. So that means you are keep on tracking the history. How we are doing that, you will come to know now. Okay. Let's take some simple example. Okay. Employee ID, employee name, and then your email address. Okay. Your email address, designation, and then salary. Okay. Let's assume we have these columns coming in from the source file. Okay. So employee ID, let's take it as 1. And then Ashok, what is your email address? Ashok,
Ashok Nandiala, SC
Ashok, any dot in between? Nandyala,
No, SC@gmail.
SC,
E.
SE.
Yeah.
This is correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, @gmail.com. And your designation, let's think like intern as the first when you enter into the IT industry. This is your designation, and your salary, let's assume like 15,000. Okay. Now let's go ahead and create one more record. Samata, what is your email address?
ITS, it's samatapi@gmail.com.
It's samataP@gmail.com. Is this correct?
Yeah, spell mistakes, but correct.
Okay.
SEMATHA.
THA. Okay. Now let's assume like you are somewhat experienced, then we are giving it as software engineer. Then let's assume your salary is 25,000. So this is the data that you are getting from your source. Okay. And now you should have your target table. Okay. In target table, let's store the data: employee ID, employee name, email address. Okay. Email address, designation, and then salary. So when you are getting this record, first time you are loading the data. So do you have this data in the target?
No.
This is your target. Okay. This is your target, and this is your source. Okay. This is your, let's write it here only. Source. So you don't have any data in the target, but from source you are getting the data. So when in case of no match, on basis of which column you will check whether data is available or not? Based on employee ID.
Right.
Based on employee ID, you will check for the data. Now, as in, do we have any match here in the target?
No.
So compared to source to target, no match. So in case of no match, what do we do?
We insert the data.
We'll insert the data. So let's go ahead, insert this record. Okay. Now you got one record into your target. Now you have another record. Do we have this record in the target?
No.
No. So let's go ahead and then insert it. Okay. You are clear till here? So there is no difference till here between SCD type 1 and SCD type 2, because we have just got one scenario, that is no match scenario we got. So in case of no match, what we do normally, we'll insert the data in both the cases. Okay.
Yeah.
Now just assume here we have corrected Samatha name. Okay. Just one change. Okay. Now let's go ahead and see again. Again, you are getting this data from your source. You will go and check based on employee ID. Is one is there here in the target? So you will compare between source and target, whether employee ID 1 is there in your target.
Yeah.
It is there. And is there any change in other columns?
No.
No. So in case of a match and there is no change in the data, what you will do?
We just ignore it.
We'll just ignore it because there is no change in the data. There is no point of again inserting or updating the data. Correct?
Yeah.
So it is same thing again as SCD type 1. Okay.
Yeah.
So now come to the second record. So do we have employee ID 2 in target?
Yeah.
Yes, you have. And is there any change in the data in any other columns?
Yeah, in the name we have.
Yes, in the name there is a change. So when there is a change, what we have to do? We have to insert it as a new record. First, let's go ahead and insert it as a new record. Okay. First, let's go ahead and then insert it as a new record. And then what I have mentioned for the already existing record, you have to update it. What you have to update? Current flag and end effective date. So you will have extra columns: is current, start effective date, okay, end effective date. What are these columns? Okay. What are these columns? You have is current. Okay. You have is current, and then you have start effective date, and then you have end effective date. Okay. What is current? It will have either
Whether the
1 or 0. Okay. It will have either 1 or 0. So 1 means record is active. Okay. 1 means record is active. You can name it as is current or is active as well. That is your wish. Okay. Is current or is active. Okay. So
Yeah.
it will have either 1 or 0. 1 means the record is active. 0 means inactive. Okay.
Yeah.
0 means inactive. Start effective date, it refers to the insert timestamp of the record. Insert timestamp of the record. Whenever you are inserting the record into the target, that timestamp you will store it in the start effective date. That means what it is telling? This record is effective from this particular date. Okay. The name is saying like this particular record is okay. This particular record is effective from this particular date. Okay. And it will refer to end date of the record. End date of the record. End date means you are expiring the record. Okay. Meaning expiring of the record. Okay. Expiring of the record. Expiring means this record is not active and it is ended at this point of time. That's what you will tell. Okay. Now let's see. So for the first time when we are inserting it, it is active, right? Both of these are active. Okay. Let's just don't think about this record as of now. Just think about these two records. So these two records are active, right? For the first time, because that is the latest data. Correct? Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Samatha, you are getting? Okay. So it is start effective date means when you are inserting the record, that is the time it is getting active, right? So what is the time? For example, we have inserted it 8/16 or what is today's date? May 15. Okay. 2023 8/16 AM. And end effective date. Is this record ended as of now? No, right? So let's populate it as null. Okay, let's populate it as null means it is not ended as of now. So this is the same case for this record as well. Okay. Now you will come to know the difference now. Okay. For first record, there is no change, right? For first record, there is no change. So we will not be doing anything. Okay. For second record, what is the change? What is the change?
Name.
There is a change in the spelling of the name. So there is some change. So what we will do? We will expire the existing record. That means existing record, we will inactivate it. Inactivate means is active equal to 0 and we will expire it. Expire is nothing but you are end dating that particular record. End dating means when it is getting ended at 8/19, it is getting ended. May 15, 2023. Okay. 8/19 AM. And now we are inserting the new record. Okay, we are inserting it as a new record for the change. So this record, it is now active because this is the latest data, right? Is active equal to 1 means you are getting the latest data for that particular employee. So whenever you are inserting it for the first time, that means it is active at that time. So you will update it as 1. It is active. And when it is active, at what time it is becoming active? At 8/19 AM. Okay. Is it ended as of now? No. So it will be null. This is how you will store the data. That's the reason you will call it as row level history. Okay. Row level history. If you see, you can identify what is the record earlier and what is the record now. In case of SCD type 1, what you will do? You will just directly go and update the existing record only. So there is no way like you can identify. There is no way like you can identify what is the earlier record for this customer? What is the name of this person or email address? Anything you will not be able to identify. Okay. Let's take another example. Okay. Let's take 3, and we are getting some new name, Divya. Okay. Divya.sarika. Okay. Divya.sarika@gmail.com. And let's give it as some lateral hire, senior software engineer. Okay. Senior software engineer. And then our salary is around 40,000. Okay. And now Ashok designation got changed to software engineer. Okay, software engineer, and his salary changed to 25,000. Now let's see what will happen here. Now first record will come here. When you are checking for the data, you have to look for only latest data, not for the historical data. Whenever you are comparing the data, okay. Whenever you are comparing the data, you should not compare it with the older data. You should compare it with the latest data only for that particular employee. Okay. Now for Ashok, you have this data is coming in from source. Now in target, do you have employee ID 1?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any change in the data?
Yeah.
There is a change. So in case of a change, what you have to do?
We need to
In case of
update.
a change, okay. In case of change, let's write here, okay. In case of change, what we do?
We update it.
Inactivate existing record, okay. End date existing record. End date existing record. Where you will end date it? At end effective date column. Okay. Inactivate existing record means is active. Is active will make it as 0. Okay. And insert the incoming data. Insert the incoming data. These 3 steps you need to do. So there is a change. When there is a change, what we will do? We will inactivate existing record. What is existing record here? What is the latest data? This one. So here you will make it as 0, and you will update end effective date as, what is the time now? 8:22 a.m. Now you have updated the existing record, and you have to insert the new record. And for that new record, what should be the is active? What should be the is active value? 1. Okay. And then
so we can't update there itself without rewriting the data again.
yes, so that is SCD type 2. If you are updating it, SCD type 1. 2 types. So sometimes you will get the requirement to keep track of the history. And what is the purpose of it? I will tell you. Okay. Now,
so in SCD type 1, if it's like Ashok, in there we change directly.
Yes.
We update directly.
Here you will change it as software engineer. And for Samatha, here itself you will change Samatha.
Okay.
Okay. Directly you will update it. You see here, last time we had the session. So in that, if you see, we will directly go ahead. Okay, this is the data. Okay, I think we do not have that example, but yeah, you should have it. You should have it somewhere. This is not the one. Okay, where is it? You will have it. Okay, employee. So see here, employee ID. In case of any changes, you are just updating the data. Okay. For example, where there is a change, this raw target dim employee. Okay. This 3 Roberto. I think earlier we have Rob right here. Rob is there. So here we have changed it to Roberto. Here because it is getting updated, so both will be in sync. You will not be able to identify any difference. Okay. But here you got it right. SCD type 1 is nothing but you will not have these 2 records. Okay. You will not have these 2 records. Just you will go and update it here itself. Okay. You got it, Samantha?
Yeah.
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 Okay, you won't insert the new record. So SCD type 2 is nothing but record level history. SCD type 1 is nothing but there is no history. You'll just directly go and update the existing record only. You will not have any extra records. So one employee, you will have one record. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now for Samantha, do we have any change? Two record is there, right? Two record
Yeah,
is there.
two records.
So two record is here. So every time you have to refer to the latest data only, not to the older data. If you refer to the older data, it will say like there is a change, but you should not refer to the older data. You should refer to the latest data only. When you are looking upon the target, you have to refer to the latest data. So this is the latest data. So to the latest data and this incoming data, is there any change?
No.
No change. So in case of no change, what you will do?
We just ignore
In
it.
case of a match and there is no change in data, we'll ignore it. Okay. And then this three record, do you have 3 employee here?
No.
No.
No. So what do you have to do in case of no match?
Insert it.
We'll go ahead and insert it. And is active should be 1. And your start effective date and end effective date will be this one. Null end effective because it is not ended. It was just started. Clear here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what is the use of this? So I want to understand as of, okay, my requirement is, for example, as of May 15, 8:16 a.m., who are the software engineers are there? Who are the software engineers are there in my company? What you will do as of May 15, 8:16 means you will get this data, okay?
Yeah.
Right. So your May 15, 8:16 should be in between your start and end date because he is intern during this time only. Right? He is intern during this time. And after 8:22, what he became? He became a software engineer. So as of 8:16, who are all the software engineers are there here? Only Samatha is there, not Ashok, because Ashok was software engineer at 8:22, not at 8:16. You got it? Here we are going ahead with the timestamp, but normally what will happen? So as of, for example, before 10 years, at 2010, in 2010, who are all the employees I have and what is their designation, I can get it. And now what is their designation, I can get it. But if you go to SCD type 1, will you be able to get the data like that? Because you will not be able to, because in SCD type 1, you will have only this data, latest data you will get. So if you want to identify what is his position in the history, you will not be able to identify. In 2010 or 2015, what is his designation or what is his address or what is his salary? Will you be able to get it? You will not be able to get it through SCD type 1. Here in SCD type 2, you will track the entire history. Okay? You'll track the entire history so that you will be able to get the data at any point of time. Okay? You can get the point in time data. Okay? By using SCD type 2, what you will get? You will get, okay? SCD type 2 will give you, okay? SCD type 2 will give you point in time data. Okay? It will give you point in time data. Correct? At any point of time, if you want to get the data, then by using this, you will be able to get it. And how you will get the latest data from this table? Tell me. Just I want to read the latest data. I'm not worrying about historical data. From this table, how can I read the latest data?
Only we take out the
According to the time.
Yeah. According to the time, if you want to go with the time, you can go with end effective date null. Or if you want to go with this column, you can go with this. Because if it is active equal to 1 or end effective date is null, that means it is started but not ended. That's the reason you're not populating it with anything. Clear? Got it? So now just think like you don't have start effective date and end effective date. You have only is active flag. Okay. Now, will you be able to get the point in time data? Now, just forget about these two columns are not there. Okay, forget about these two columns are not there. Now, I want to identify 8816 AM, who are all the employees, who are the interns available in my company. How can I get it from this table now? Will you able to get it? You have the history, you know what is their designation and everything at different points of time, but you don't know exactly at what point of time he is an intern, exactly at what point of time his designation is software engineer, or exactly at what point of time his salary is 15,000 or 25,000, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't have that data. So now you got the importance of these two columns.
Yeah.
Now you got the importance of these two columns, Samantha?
Yeah.
Okay. So for any SCD type 2 column, what are the 3 extra columns that we will maintain?
Is active.
Is
start
active,
date,
start effective date, and end effective date. Okay. And what is the purpose of is active? You can
the
easily
active date.
get the latest data by putting is active equal to 1. Okay. By putting is active equal to 1. Even if you don't have it, will you be able to get the active data?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For start date and end date by watching.
By end effective date null means you will be able to get the latest data.
Yeah.
Right? You will be able to get the latest data by using end effective date null.
Null.
Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is active is may not be mandatory. Okay. Is active may not be mandatory, but by using this, you can easily get it. By using this, is active equal to 1, you can easily get this data instead of depending on the end effective date. Okay. Whenever you want to refer to latest data, you'll just put a is active equal to 1 because it's a kind of Boolean and you will be able to fetch the data very easily. Okay. Clear?
Yeah.
But it may not be mandatory. You can even get the same data by using end effective date. It depends on you. If you want to maintain it, you can. Otherwise, you need not to maintain it. But normally, as a thumb of rule, we'll maintain these 3 columns in your SCD type 2. Okay? In SCD type 2, we'll maintain these 3 columns. And this is the purpose of each and every column. Okay? Clear?
Yeah.
Understood clearly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.